Super Mario Sunshine! Woohoo!
Welcome back to Nightmare.
Oh. Nightmare.
It's like Dreams. This is basically the same game.
Yeah, it's Amori.
When the moon hits your eye like a quirky Earthbound-inspired RPG.
That's Eely Mouth's dentist.
Oh, Mario, you're finally setting out for the ocean's bottom. Grandpa's waiting for you up top. Oh, don't forget to wear this. You can use this rope as a shortcut to reach Grandpa.
That's how he talks.
Ocean's bottom.
I
That's
just-
kind of indecent.
Yeah,
The ocean's asshole.
whoa, the Mariana Trench. Did you guys see that two anglerfishes washed up in one in Oregon and one in California?
No,
I've
what
never
the
heard
fuck?
of Oregon, so no, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
It's
Where's Oregon?
okay, thank
It's
you. It's,
northwestern Kazakhstan.
There are some
Oh.
things that
A
I would
landlocked
only
country.
expect to hear Carrie say, and that is one of them.
What?
yeah, so two of them.
Oh no!
one in
I just
California
tore
and
apart the desk again.
one in
I
Oregon.
not
Carrie,
noticed that.
what
desk
are you
apart.
doing?
Dude,
I'm just like
You're like Drew in high. Did we tell the trumpet story, right?
Yeah.
I need to put it back together.
He ripped a trumpet in half.
Oh, no.
Wow, that's brass.
It
What?
yeah, we there was a garage sale that was like raising money for what the fuck?
That
Bro
guy.
said get the fuck out of here.
That guy.
There was a garage sale for raising money for the band during band camp. And so
Because the band always has to fund themselves.
yeah. And so one of our friends, Patrick, who is a trumpet player, saw that there was a trumpet for sale, rather old one, and he was like, so he decided to buy it for $10, whatever, and the money went to the band, so whatever. So he bought it, and he could not fucking tune the thing. Like, it played okay, but he couldn't fucking tune it, and it was way out of tune.
Hang on.
You look like you're ready. The gunk of the ocean is caused by a giant eel. It's moved into our ancestral home. At the sea floor, and it's nursing some nasty cavities there. Let's take a look.
Hey, blue coin. That is a concentrated
waterfall.
waterfall.
I know. I was about to say it looks like a solid cylinder.
So yeah, if you jump into the waterfall, you'll go straight to the ocean's floor, where a giant eel is. And if you thought Unagi in Mario 64 looked creepy, man, this guy, Anyway, Whitney, what
Well,
were
it's
you
a
saying?
good thing you have that completely unpressurized bubble on your head.
Yep.
Go to the ocean floor.
This is a nice looking place,
Yeah.
though, I must say.
Whoa. Yeah, what the fuck? This is way more than I was expecting. So we couldn't get the fucking tuning slide to move. And he tried, like, moving it on his own, it wouldn't work, like, kind of really yanking it. He gave one half to his friend and the other half to himself, and they, like, tried to pull both of them apart, and they couldn't fucking move. And then our friend Drew, who at the time was well known for being unreasonably strong for, like, how little activity he did.
Yeah.
And he was like, here, let me try it. And so he just one in each hand, like, pulled it apart. Like, you know, like how Superman, like, opens his, like, shirt. Like that. And I wasn't even in the room. I just heard, like, some grunting.
There goes a tooth.
Some screaming, and then and then somebody screamed, "Drew is He-Man!" and then a rip sound, and I was like, "What?" And so I walked in, and Drew was just sitting there holding two halves of a trumpet in either hand, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I guess the tuning slide was so fucking stuck. It was stronger than the fucking actual metal pipe.
Oh my god. Also,
and Yeah, so that's the Trumpet story.
Yeah, if you wanna get a perspective on what the Patrick guy who Whitney mentioned was like, one time in a restaurant, he ordered Coke, got the "Is Pepsi okay?" comment, and replied, "Is Monopoly money okay?"
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was apocryphal. I wasn't there when he did that. Were you there?
I was not there. I've just heard the story enough times.
Fair enough.
I love your use of the word apocryphal.
Yeah, you like it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that is literally what you just said.
But it's like one of those. Like I said, I was not there, but it's like I heard the story, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like something you'd say.
Ah, the sea hippo.
You know, we all grew since high school.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I am the same size.
You were the same size, and you still like Haruhi, so.
Yeah. I'm literally just the same person. It's been
You,
10
I mean,
years
you look
since
the
I've
same. Plus
graduated, and I have
Well,
not changed one bit.
you
You
remember
haven't
that
changed
time
at
we
all.
looked at the photo of when we looked at that photo of like Carrie and I when we first met, and both of us looked exactly the same.
I think you look a little different.
I look a little different.
Yeah. Just a little bit, though. I mean, and to be fair, not much change, I think, really happens for a lot of people between 18 and, like, 30.
Yeah. In my case, the
I don't
gap
know.
was between.
I look way different than I did when I was 18.
Yeah, you do.
I don't remember what you looked like at 18.
It's mostly like my facial hair got way thicker
Yeah.
after 18.
Yeah, I think that would make a difference.
Well, okay. So the thing is, like aside from the whole, puberty thing, you kind of looked exactly the same between when I met you at 8 and like when you graduated from high school.
That's probably true. I think the only thing that really realistically changed was like my hair, and my height really didn't change that much.
I don't even think your hair changed that much, but then again, that's just my memory talking, and you're the actual
My
person,
in,
so.
in high school, I had like I styled my hair like up, and I wore beanies. In middle school, I had like the mop.
That's
where
right.
I'd, like,
That's
flip
right.
the hair. That was the thing to do. It was actually just that I wanted like long hair, and my parents wouldn't let me, so that was like the compromise, was I was able to have that kind of hair, which like honestly, way to get the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
The mop.
But
Mm-hmm.
what do I know?
That's
That's
too
your part
bad
of
when parents are strict about hair length. It's like, imagine, the least consequential thing,
It
I
is
feel
dark.
like, is hair
I
length.
feel fright.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Um,
Yeah, it's also I was a little bit, despite social whatever, like when it came to like asking for things that I wanted, I was actually pretty timid as a kid.
Oh.
And so I didn't feel like super comfortable being like, hey, I want my hair to be so long that I can tie it up, like as a kid.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Oh, yeah, so with me,
It's hard to learn how to ask for things that you want, especially
I-
being the youngest.
I remember when I decided I wanted to have long hair, like, a friend of the family who was around my age, remember to take proper care of your teeth. I hope he lost another tooth. He lost, like, 4 teeth today. Anyway,
Teeth.
yeah, oh, there was a shine sprite in that tooth. Like a family friend, who was around my age, he let his hair grow out really long, but it was like so curly that I could not tell until he jumped in the pool one day and saw it was like actually really long. I'm like, oh, cool, I want to have long hair, and then I just grew it out for as long as possible, but my dad really did not like that. And it's like, he's like, at some point, like, they convinced me to, like, get it trimmed a bit, to a certain point, and, that was, like, right before I entered high school, and it's like, that was the point I decided, okay, yeah, I like my hair long, but not long. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, everybody feels comfortable with a different level of hair. I got my hair cut like sort of recent, like a couple of weeks ago.
I got my hair cut recently, too.
Before then, my hair went down like almost to my butt. It was really long.
Oh,
Like,
it's longer than mine. Wow.
yeah,
You
it
won
was.
you win the longest hair contest. I feel like we've had like an informal contest for years.
Yeah, we kind of.
between
Yeah,
the two of
it was barely long enough. Like it was like the
Yeah.
longest strand I could stretch and
Yeah.
touch my butt with it. But
Yuri,
like
you're growing your hair out again, right?
I'm growing it out again, yes. I cut it in 2017 and then I started growing it out again in 2021.
All right. Well,
And now
Yeah, that
I
was- that was
challenge
the last
you
time I
to
got my
a
haircut
race to
before
that
that.
flag.
wow.
21.
I get regular trims. If I don't, I get so many split ends because I have really
Oh,
fine
I just
hair.
had
It's a
really-
race
I
to
just
the
had
finish.
friends.
The best time is
Uh-huh.
40 seconds. Are you at the ready? Then get set and go!
and actually, this has like a very, very, very easy shortcut, which is just cut through the water. I mean, I guess he's kind of doing that too, but I'm doing it from a better angle than him. So, and I have F.L.U.D. In fact, I'd say that's the main
Therefore, your
thing. I
shortcut
have
is
F.L.U.D.
better.
I think the longest my hair was before I cut it in 2017. The longest part was at my hip bone, so I'm gonna try and see if I can get it longer
Yeah,
than
but
that this go
Carrie-
round.
Shit.
Carrie, don't you remember that time back in middle school when your hair reached the floor?
That should never happened.
No, that's true.
It is true.
Because you were 4 inches taller.
You
I
are
always
quite
had
speedy.
kind of shorter hair most
You are
of
like
my
a
life.
fish. You may not be the slow clam chomper I took you for. May we race again? Watch for me. Take my son.
Take
Right now, my
jungle
hair is
son.
almost waist length, but not quite. So my Smash Team games
But nobody,
avatar is a little bit out of date.
but nobody would be able to tell at a glance because you always have it back, like up.
I do. I wear it in a bun almost exclusively. Occasionally, I'll do a braid.
That's always really like I had my hair like styled, but it's like I got like curtain bangs, and it's like I might as well have not because I'm still so not used to having hair in my face that I'm like I just tie it up.
Yeah, I can't stand it in my face. That's one of the things that I love about having really long hair is that I can put it up and it's like I don't even have hair.
Yeah,
So it's wonderful in the
Bulge.
summertime.
Master
That-
Mario, you become tied to our destiny, I'm afraid. A
Fuck.
pathway to another world is opened above our fair land.
What the fuck?
I'm just gonna sit
Surely
there.
you will go there. Of course, you must go there. I apologize for involving you in all this. Good luck. We'll cheer you on from here. Farewell.
So yeah, a portal to another dimension has opened up at the top of the.
Right.
You know what hair I really wished I had?
What?
Hair.
Yeah, the like white person afro.
Oh yeah.
God.
I don't know if it's still acceptable to refer to them as Jufros, but that's what I know them as.
Yeah.
Oh,
get what you're saying.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that kind of hair. I wanted that kind of hair. I don't know why, but I definitely did. And my girlfriend was very thankful that I didn't.
She wasn't into that.
No, she didn't like that. She liked, just thick, straight black hair. Which my hair isn't actually that straight. It's just hard to tell when it's not long.
Mhm.
Except for it's also so thick that, like, get body time. If I let it grow out, then the weight of the hair pulls out the waves, and so you can't even see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, see, my girlfriend likes my hair the way that I like it, and the joke is that I've never had a girlfriend once in my life.
My girlfriend eats spaghetti.
How much spaghetti?
We have
I
a-
don't actually know. She's papyrus from under too.
What?
Whoa!
You know what? No. I'm not surprised. With how much Gabe talks about them, I'm not surprised that Gabe is a bone fucker.
Whoa! We use the term boner around here, okay?
Nice.
Got my Taco Bell.
You have Taco Bell, indeed.
I'm not gonna eat my Cheez-It tostada.
One of the cool
She's a
things though
crunch
about
ball.
having long hair and always wearing it in a bun is that when I let it down, people are like, "Whoa, I didn't know you had long hair." Just like when I take off my cardigan and people are like, "Oh my gosh, you have 2 sleeves tattoos."
It is really you just don't look like somebody who has tattoos.
Yeah.
You know, I do
It's
have to
kinda fun.
agree. You don't really have a tattoo
You
vibe
like
about you.
you give the vibe that like you could have like maybe like a foot tattoo.
Yeah, like an ankle, like a little heart on my ankle.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
little cross
something
on
like
my
that.
wrist.
But like you don't look like because you've got like sleeve is like the right word for it.
Yeah.
Like you have a
Yeah.
lot of tattoos.
Actually, is it a lot of tattoos if they just all morph into one? Or if it's just like one singular large concept?
That is so many tattoos. Actually, it takes many tattoos to do that.
But like, what if it's part of one continuous piece?
Then it's just called a triptych, and it's whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was interesting. I was talking to someone about this recently about how she was surprised that I'm as tattooed as I am, and I was telling her that for people who have only known me as an adult, I can see where it would surprise people. But if you've known me and known me well throughout my whole life, it's actually not that much of a surprise because I've always been the kind
What
of
the
person to
fuck
just
is
like
going on?
do interesting things because they're fun and interesting. I mean, do things that are a bit different or a bit unexpected because it's fun and interesting. But I've definitely toned that down more as an adult. But I don't know. I kind of want to get in
Very
touch with that
subdued.
more again.
Oh my god, are we gonna see the revival of edgy Carrie?
Gosh, no. I did dye my hair a lot. Like I had rainbow hair at one point when I was in high school.
Oh yeah, the
you
portal
imagine,
leads
like-
to a no-flood zone again. And
Could
I'd
you-
say this is one of the easier platforming challenges in the game, despite how complex it actually looks.
Could you imagine like seeing Carrie?
You start in the glass.
What do you mean?
Like you, but like seen.
We are trapped like an ant.
Seeing or am I? Oh, seen?
Be me.
Seen.
Oh
as
yeah,
in
I did that back in middle
SCENE.
school. Yeah,
What's up?
Yeah, but middle school is not people, so.
I did that in middle school.
Sorry, what'd you
As
do in
I've
middle
said,
school? I was
as
talking about the
I've-
game.
The like scene emo thing.
Oh my god, emo Carrie.
Yeah. And they are slightly different. But yeah, kind of did that thing.
Emo and scene.
But I don't know. I don't want to dye my hair again. It's just too much of a hassle and it's messy and natural
It is-
hair. I think
it is
looks best,
hard.
generally speaking.
I dyed my hair blue.
Oh, yeah, I
think
remember
you saw
that.
that in person, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
I do
because
remember that.
that's why it was the channel art for a while.
That's true. Yeah. So when I first had it dyed, I had like a undercut with really long hair.
I
'cause it
remember
was
that, yeah.
2015. And when the person dyed my hair, because I had it dyed at a salon, like a little bit through the bleaching process, I was like, my scalp feels really hot. And she was like, it can happen, like bleach does that sometimes. Just let me know. And after a while, I was like, no, this is hot. This is not like.
And then you look
You
in the
know.
mirror and your hair's on fire.
Well, no. So she took took the whatever thing that was on my hair, and it was smoking, like not steaming. It was like smoking.
Oh.
What?
And I was like, what? And so we just immediately washed the bleach out, and she was like, okay, well, we were gonna do your roots today, but we are not doing that anymore because I'm probably just gonna give you a chemical burn.
Yeah.
And so she's like, yeah, we're not gonna fucking do that. And so we actually chose a really dark shade of blue, so that it was much harder to notice that my roots just weren't dyed.
Mm.
Like the bottom like inch of my hair was just like not dyed.
Mhm.
Because I didn't want to. And then months later, I cut my hair to be relatively short, and so we used a lot less bleach, and I didn't have the problem.
Oh, good.
Um,
Yeah.
But it's just like super weird because she's like, that's like never happened to her before, and like I talked to a couple of hairstylists, and like that can happen. It's really fucking rare though.
What
Like, it's not unheard
conditions
of.
need to be met? Like what's
I
unique
think
about you?
I
and-
think it's just you have to have the bleach in for a really long time, and because I have really thick and really my hair is lighter now, but it was really dark back then.
Mhm.
And I think it just like because of how dark it was and how thick it was, it needed to be in there for so, and also how long it was.
Mhm.
It just was so long that it just started doing that. I don't think it's like a kind of hair you have or something like that. I don't think that's what it is. It could theoretically happen to anybody, but you just would have to have like because Harry.
Harry.
Yeah, your hair is like pretty not light, but it's like light brown.
Hair
right?
like medium,
Yeah,
light
yeah.
brown, like not light brown, but not like medium, slightly light brown, I'd say. And it has kind of a golden reddish tint in the light in the sun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
It's typical Scandinavian hair, is what I've heard it called. Very fine, but very dense.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
And
almost
so,
didn't
so it's
survive
like that.
that
I
one.
just like you just have to have like way longer hair probably to meet the same criteria.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh, it's a corner wall jump. How is he gonna do it?
How is he going to do it?
How
Oh
is he
wait,
gonna
I'm
do
he.
We should do a Smash Team Games commentary of like
Hey, I did it.
Jump Academy in Team Fortress.
Oh, I did
What's
it.
that?
It's a
Jump Academy?
rocket jumping map where you can like in Team Fortress 2 you can jump extra high by like jumping and shooting a rocket at the ground.
By the
below
way,
you.
the fact
and
that
it
I'm
launches
ground
you
pounding in
fast.
all of these nails, that's how you know that this is actually my first life that I'm doing this on.
Mm.
Yeah, otherwise you just
Because, like, you may have noticed in the other ones that I've done, like, I always go straight for the one that has the 1-up in it and leave the other ones alone.
Is it just one that has the 1-up? I actually always assumed it was like
It's a very specific ones have 1-ups in them.
I thought it was like a set. Like you needed to do like these 4 and you'll get a 1-up on
You
the
would think
last
so,
one.
but no.
That's really funny.
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 Rocket Jump Academy.
Jump Academy.
Jump a gump.
Anyways, Jump Academy
Yeah.
is just so you can launch yourself like really far by just like if you jump and then shoot a rocket below you, so the blast of the rocket launches you. And there's a bunch of really high-tech shit you can do with it. And that's super fucking crazy. And it's like one of those things where like I'm not gonna say that doing the stuff on Jump Academy is like worthless. It's super duper not. It's really good actually. But like people who are really good at rocket jumping will be able to do rocket jumping skill like techniques that you would never ever need to do in the actual game.
It's just like math in high school.
Yeah, like the amount of math you need for like most jobs is super duper not anywhere near what you're like actually
One
need.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kelly's dying.
The dog.
What the dog doing?
What the dog doing?
A foolish man does not inquire the behavior of canines. A
Gabe,
wise
you
man
inquire the
asks,
behavior of
"What the
canines
dog do?"
all the time.
Came back.
I know,
He
but
said
that's what a fool does.
person
but,
doesn't.
Yeah, a fool does not inquire the behaviors of canine. A wise man says what the dog do. Hold it, Shadow Mario.
Hold it.
$14, would you or would you not?
Would you or would you not what?
I would.
14. Good choice.
That's right.
You know what they should start doing now?
What should they start doing now?
They should start selling the fucking huge Cheez-Its that they use in for the Taco Bell Crunchwrap.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought you were about to say they should start selling bathwater.
Oh my
They should start
gosh.
selling. They should start selling Cheez-It bathwater.
They should.
No, but just like you know, like what are those they're like the Passover crackers. I can't remember what they're called.
Not
Well, the
Passover.
big ones in the
The,
packages.
the huge ones, right? Yeah. Like sell them in boxes like that, but instead of like Passover crackers, it's just Cheez-It, the size of 16 Cheez-Its.
I may
choose
not
them.
get the story of Big Mirror this time, but I am getting Big Cheez-It.
Yeah, we didn't get big. Yeah, Fabian wasn't here, so. Do you think Fabian missed this just so that he would avoid Big Mirror? No, I'm kidding.
That son of a bitch. I'm gonna get to the bottom of Big Mirror one of these
Big
days.
Mirror. I'm glad you remembered that, because I didn't, actually.
We here at Hammer Industries are looking to take down Big Mirror by smashing the competition.
Big
Holy
Mirror.
shit, you fucked on that guy.
That's 7 years bad luck, Gabe.
Oh, to smash a mirror? Real. You know what else is walking under a ladder?
Yep. Well, that one they say that about because it actually is dangerous to do that.
Yeah.
Like some
Why
of
does
this,
floodwater hurt him?
like superstitions like that, like this is like this many years bad luck. Like those come from two places. Like one's like some sort of like old either it comes like from some old like religious idea, or it comes from don't do something that's actually fucking dangerous.
You know, there's this superstition I learned in Germany that I really like a lot.
Yeah.
Which is when you clink glasses, when you're drinking together, when your
Make eye
glass,
contact, right?
yeah, you make eye contact. Do you know what the consequence for not doing it is?
What?
For Prost? No, I do not.
It's not bad luck. It's bad sex for 7 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, joke's on you. I don't get any sex.
Well,
I'm
maybe that's
closing
why.
my eyes. He did not
And
look what
but it
she-
was when I was studying abroad in Germany, my parents came to visit because my dad had a conference in Poland, and we were all drinking together at a bar, and this was like the first drink we were sharing, and I right before the glasses clinked, I was like, wait, and I explained the superstition, and I was like, yeah, it's bad sex for 7 years, and my dad like gasped in the way that you like dads do when you say something that's like,
Yeah.
you know, theoretically inappropriate, but now you're like
Mhm.
22, so like he can't stop you.
Yeah.
And my parents just both very carefully made eye contact and clinked the glasses with me very slowly.
And I
made
just
sure that they were
realized,
doing
you know,
everything correctly.
sorry, I just made a little connection. This is the second time in the same episode that I made a joke about being single. Am I okay?
This is the third time you just
Evan,
made
are
it.
you-
Am I okay?
People always ask. People always ask, starting up the recording, or say starting up the recording. Does anyone ever say, starting up my inquiry?
Joke's on
into
you, I
Evan's
was born
feelings and mental
single.
state?
Yeah, that's how birth
And
works,
that's
Harry.
as J. Cole,
The joke.
as J. Cole once very famously said in hit song "Wet Dreams." Last time I was in a pussy when I came out of one.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Bro said that?
I'm not surprised that
J.
somebody
Cole
at some
from,
point in the
hit
history
song
of
Wet
humanity
Dreams.
has said that.
I do really want to recognize how funny that joke Carrie made was. And then she deafened right as I said that.
I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to click something else.
Carrie's like, oh, when he's complimenting me, I don't want to fucking hear it. No, I was just recognizing how funny that joke was, like mechanically.
Thank you.
It was a mechanically funny joke.
it's a mechanical pencil.
FNAF.
Yep.
And me, Carrie.
Mechanical FNAF.
Do you guys like?
I just think that old saying that people have probably been saying forever. You know, I'd rather be single than in a bad relationship is probably just so true.
I mean,
Especially
yeah,
seeing all the
absolutely.
that seems
That's
like a
just,
pretty reasonable.
that's just kind of a
have.
given.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people, I think that's not true. I think some people are really afraid to be single.
Yeah, but like, it's probably still not good for them to be in a bad relationship.
No,
Like,
no, it's
their personal preference, but like, you know, that does not always align with
Listen,
what
listen,
is
listen,
actually
listen.
good for them.
Listen.
Real.
Being alone is unhealthy, and being in a bad relationship is also unhealthy. These are statements that can coexist.
Correct.
But also,
exactly,
you don't, like,
and being single doesn't necessarily mean being alone. There's
Yes,
other
yeah, I
ways
was
to have
gonna say,
community
you
too.
don't
It's a lot
have to-
harder. It's a lot harder in our society, but it's still possible to have community if you're single.
Fuck
Yeah.
on that guy finally.
I won't forget this.
I was gonna say that guy was being a real stinker,
He was-
a real
He was really taking you
rapscallion.
around
Oh, yeah,
the
we're-
horn.
Yeah,
a
the
real,
lo-
Super Mario
a real
Sunshine, everyone.
ne'er-do-well.
So, the longer, like, the farther into the game you get, the more of a pain he becomes. Like, later on, he starts, like, splitting himself into duplicates, or, also just, setting, like, just, like, every, like, he leaves a trail of flaming goop behind him in the last one. Anyway, next time on Smash
Me
Team
too.
Games,
I leave behind a trail of steaming goo.
yep. I said, to be fair, I said flaming.
Oh, sorry. Well, mine's steaming because of the bleach.
Cool.